Hello, viewers. Welcome to the CSR Universe Leaders Talk. This is a series that brings you insights from visionary leaders driving change across sustainability, CSR, and responsible business. And today we are joined by a leader who believes that the true strength of an organization lies in its people and in its purpose. And our guest is Ms. Bhavna Mittal, Chief Human Resources Officer at Hero Future Energies. Bhavna, it's such a pleasure to have you with us on the CSR Universe Leaders Talk.
Thank you so much. Uh, Pleasure is all mine, and I'll I look forward to a meaningful conversation today.
Likewise, lovely to have you here. So let's set the context for our viewers. With over 2 decades of experience across industries, Bhavna has been leading HFE's people strategy, cultural transformation, and organizational development with a strong focus on inclusion, agility, and innovation. And before joining HFE, she held senior HR leadership roles in reputed organizations where she successfully led large scale transformation programs and championed employee well being, a people first approach that now defines HFE's broader sustainability journey. Under her leadership, Hero Future Energies has redefined what it means to balance profit with purpose, evolving from a renewable energy company into a catalyst for community transformation. And the organization's people positive, water positive, and climate positive philosophy has translated into real impact from ASHA Education Centers, bringing structured learning to rural children, to Digi Labs in Ladakh, to water ATMs and check dams in drought prone regions, and skill programs empowering women to become self reliant. And so, in our conversation today, we'll explore how Hero Future Energies is building futures, not just energy, and how its CSR programs are driving transformation, strengthening communities, and aligning with India's broader sustainability goals. So, Bhavna, let's dive right in. So,
Sure.
Bhavna, Hero Future Energy talks about being people positive, water positive, and climate positive, and I really love that idea. So, can you start with, unpacking what these three pillars really mean to HFE and how they come together to define sustainability for you?
Sure. Thank you. So, let me step back a little from these three pillars and just focus on that. At HFE, our endeavor is that, we focus on economic, social, and environmental capital for enhancing societal sustainability. And we have aligned our this vision with the UN's Sustainability Development Goals, largely 4, 5, and 6.
Mhm.
And the concept is conserving the natural resources, enabling people for with access to education and skilling, so that livelihood
Mhm.
possibilities are enhanced and enhanced. And then the third window is enhance again because we are imparting education and skills, so possibilities of employment and a better livelihood through all our endeavors.
Mhm.
And all these, so how this is being enabled is through these three approaches, which you rightly said: people positive, water positive, and climate positive. And I start with
Mhm.
the water positive first, which actually laid foundation for our CSR journey. We started working on this approach in the year 2013, which was, I think, our first year of incorporation. So beyond the
Mhm.
realm of CSR Act and all, we already started working on that, and we realized that in the country with a good base of population and so many government policies already institutionalized, still there are areas in the country where people do not have access to clean drinking water, which is, I think, which is
Right.
primary need of an individual in an independent country. So that is where we started working on
Right.
that. That time we had not thought of that we'll build these three pillars. So we started with one pillar. And so our water positive approach outlines access to clean drinking water, which directly impacts the health and especially of the children.
Mhm.
And second approach that we have adopted in the water area is recharging the groundwater. So you know,
Mm-hmm.
ensuring that rainwater is harvested and in big areas, and which makes it feasible for agriculture to do crop rotation and
Right.
greening the uh, increase the green cover and add to the
Mm-hmm.
water table. So that is the water positive approach. In addition to this, in the communities, we also focus on conserving water at all our sites, the project sites where our projects have been installed, the wind and solar, so that there's no wastage of water in any of the operation, technical or otherwise,
Okay.
at the sites, right?
Okay.
In the people positive approach, so when we started the company, our main focus was that we will work for inclusive growth of communities where we will install the projects, and which means that in addition to providing any kind of amenities while setting up the project, we'll focus on people development. And when we say people
Mm-hmm.
development, first thing that comes to everyone's mind is education. Education is the only tool that can bridge the gap between people, the haves, have-nots, and haves kind of what we define as
Mm-hmm.
generally the generic term. So we have adopted the approach of, as you rightly said, ASHA centers. These are remedial classes for children. These
Mm-hmm.
generally operate up till 8th standard, but now we have started focusing on scaling it up and taking up to 12th
Okay.
level. In addition to it, when
Okay.
we set up ASHA centers, we employ rural area women and
Mm-hmm.
impart training to them so that they get empowered to stand on their own feet and utilize the education that they have already acquired and impart it to the children of the community there. And the best part in this kind of I'll say framework is that the entire family gets involved. And myself, when we visit, you know, the
Mm-hmm.
mother-in-law, the husband, the children, everyone will come together to, ensure that this lady of the house gets entire support, which is actually very encouraging. There have been real,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, impact stories where people have come forward, these ladies, and shared that, they never thought they'll be able to stand on their feet, and now today they are
Right.
nurturing future generation of their communities. We do skill development, basic tailoring, beautician courses, and computer courses for the youth. So this is our people positive approach. In addition to focusing
Mm-hmm.
on these skills and these areas, we also team up with the schools, the local level schools,
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
enhance the infrastructure, maybe build up science
Mm-hmm.
labs and build up the toilets for hygiene
Mm-hmm.
and safety and health. And so
Mm-hmm.
anything and everything that impacts the humans and the people there is a part of our people positive approach. And climate positive, our the entire business of ours is actually focused on climate positive. But in addition to that, we ensure that
Right.
you know, we focus on reducing negative impact on biodiversity, and at the same time increase the green cover by planting trees,
Mm-hmm.
and participating in solarization of units. I'm not sure if you've been told that we have been working with PSF in the high altitude regions to
Okay.
polarize their units, and likewise
All right.
some schools wherever there is a requirement. So we have been focusing on these activities as well. I hope that answers what you wanted to know.
Absolutely, and wonderful work there. In fact, I find it interesting how you work across different development issues: education, water, climate resilience, women empowerment. So, how do you decide what to focus when you go to a particular region? How do you customize the initiatives? And like you said, that you involve communities. Do you actually involve them in the designing and running of these programs as well? If you can just shed some light on that.
Yes, yes. Oh, yes. I think any initiative success lies in if it's owned by the people for whom it is being designed. So it is important that we reach out to communities first. We have a well-structured need assessment framework that
Mm-hmm.
actually comes into picture when we start planning for the projects for any particular fiscal year. And we reach out to the communities, meet the local people,
Mm-hmm.
meet the local authorities there, or say the panchayat, sarpanch, other people who actually have been living there and know what the issues are and what the priorities are.
Right.
And we take up the
Right.
all the inputs. Uh, this is actually facilitated well by our CSR team as well as our site teams, our project teams who are actually present
Mm.
at site, and they know, they work, they live with them day in and day out. So we prioritize those, and then based on the requirements, we plan and design the projects. And then we ensure that during the planning and implementation stage also their inputs have been catered to, stitched around our strategy of implementation. And then once
Mm.
it's done, then we go on along with the community, because otherwise if it's left to only us, maybe the community will think that, oh, they've done it for their purpose, but it is actually for them.
Mm.
So they should be taking
Mm.
care of these.
Right.
And I'll give
Right.
you an example. When we first set up our water ATM project in Rajasthan,
Mm-hmm.
I think somehow the word spread, and we started getting requests from the state of Madhya Pradesh, where our projects were being executed. We never
Okay.
spoke about it in the media. We were that time. It is. I'm talking about 2013. We were not uh, talking about it on LinkedIn or any other channel, but somehow it spread, and we started getting requests. So it was very, very encouraging to see that, because
Absolutely.
what you design, if it reaches to the last leg of the community, I
Mm.
think it
Right.
makes an impact itself. Then you don't need to talk about it. People talk about it. So that is, I think, uh, the key to success of any program, that people own it and people understand and talk about it. We don't need to talk.
Yes, absolutely. And I think the scale of Hero Future Energies is also really impressive. Around 6.5 lakh lives touched. But creating lasting impact is tougher than the initiative itself. So how do you ensure that this change really stays, it's deep, measurable, and long term?
So, so there are two aspects to this. Ensuring this is, one is that the programs and the projects that we design for the communities
Mm-hmm.
have to be sustainable. And how they become sustainable is one, that their monitoring and their upkeep, maintenance is a regular
Mm-hmm.
feature.
Mm-hmm.
It's owned by us and say communities more rather than us. But the maintenance, because if it's left to them to spend money, they will not. Maybe 1 year, 2 year they will do, but on a continuous basis, they won't be able to do. They won't be able to sustain the
Yes.
cost. So it's important
Yes.
that the projects that we initiate and we
Mm.
execute, we have the commitment to run them over and over
Mm.
every year. So we undertake maintenance very, very religiously. We do not let it die its natural death. So that is one. And secondly, because the community engagement is so strong and so regular, that if there is a change and there's a need to change anything in the existing project, we
Mm.
address it immediately. Because again, if you don't do that, then again people will lose interest. And I'll give an example. There was a water ATM that we installed somewhere, depending,
Mm-hmm.
that had come through need assessment, and the even area, because area getting the local authority give the approval and all is also an exercise. And we did that, and then
Yes.
um, the village people came to us and said that, you need to shift that water ATM to a local, it was a fair kind of a market. So we did that. We
Okay.
Had we not
Okay.
done it, people would have just left it on its own, and
Right.
would have
Yes.
remained unutilized. So yes, there was an expense.
Mm.
I'll not deny it, but then I think it was a much needed expense. So we did it. And
Mm.
third, and in fact, I'm
Mm.
adding one more aspect to it, is the impact assessment, which is very
Mm.
important to
Very
understand
important.
and realize whether the intent with which we started the project actually met its goal or not, and which is actually the most important aspect when any project is done. So
Great. Most
that's
suitable and
my,
most,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
So, HSC's CSR work has actually gone to grassroots in diverse geographies. You were talking about Ladakh and then Rajasthan. So, if you could share a couple of challenges that you had faced, in rolling out the initiatives, particular to the geography or the people or the community, and how did you overcome those?
So I'll say that the biggest challenge whenever we are initiating any project is that we need to win the trust of people. That remains the biggest challenge anywhere you go with any program. So that's the first thing. And
Yes.
today I'm calling it a challenge, but over the years we've realized that if you go with the right intent, uh, having done the need assessment, they understand what is the offering and how it will benefit them. So stakeholder
Hmm.
engagement is an answer to this challenge. And early stage stakeholder engagement, I'll say. Not that once we have gone there to install the
Hmm.
project and then we start connecting with the community. Then that partnership won't
Hmm.
emerge. So that is one is the key.
Right.
Second is, you know, since we started with water ATM, then we scaled up to rainwater harvesting structures. ASHA centers is one area wherein we have been deepening our presence. A lot of times we face an issue,
Hmm.
especially in some states which are non-Hindi speaking states, that getting the teachers and getting this thought.
Hmm.
So I'll tell you, up till now we had not made an entry into Karnataka and Andhra. So this was again a
Okay.
challenge because and I'll talk particularly about, give an example of ASHA centers, because our ASHA centers
Hmm.
are in the evening classes. And generally in the south, the
Hmm.
schools are, starting a little late as compared to the north. North generally school starts at 7 and ends at 2 or 2:30. In the down south,
Hmm.
generally they start at 9, 9:30 or 10, and then they end a little late. And we were not able to
Okay.
penetrate into that region for I think 2 years, 2 regular years. We did our due diligence. How do we penetrate? How do we start? How do we take this benefit to the people there and where we
Hmm.
have been executing our projects? But again, stakeholder engagement is very crucial. We had regular dialogues
Hmm.
with people, and we found a way. So the challenge will come when you implement the project, because people are people and they will question you. But if your intent is right and if you've
Absolutely.
exhibited things and they've seen them,
Hmm.
right? Third is that we may not possess skill set for all kind of projects implementing. So
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
remains a challenge if we get into a new area. But I think that challenge we overcome by partnering with relevant people. If you think that you don't have the skill set, please go ahead and bring that partner. So a lot of times when we're implementing these solarization projects, we have internal capability, but may not be
Hmm.
sourcing. We are, some other things which then you collaborate with the right partners. The
Right.
biggest one of the biggest challenge that we faced in one of the projects that we did for this Ladakh Leh project, as well as BSF project, which is in Zabarwan Hills of, in the north, was the
Hmm.
altitude at which, they're present. So ensuring that we find relevant partners who will be able to install projects and not leave it in between. So again, credibility
Hmm.
of
Hmm.
people with whom you are engaging as your implementation
Hmm.
partners. That is important. So I think if we, and these are not very, I'll say, doable things. These are all doable things. If you understand your challenges, you
Yes.
find solutions,
Yes.
and you partner well with the right people, I think things are easily implementable, scalable,
So,
and sustainable.
yes. Yes. So, do you have any stories of successful partnerships? And also, after that, we'd like to hear some transformative stories of the people involved, the community.
Yes, yes. Our biggest implementation partner is the foundation of the Hero Group. which is Raman Kant
Mm-hmm.
Munjal Foundation. They bring in a plethora of knowledge of implementing projects, especially ASHA Centers. ASHA Centers is their flagship program, which they have been doing for other Hero Group companies. And I think the impact is massive. I'll say massive. Um, we have uh, like ample stories. I can go on and on, but maybe I'll tell uh, few of them. In the I'll
Sure.
start with BSF, and the reason why I'm starting with BSF is this: the people who protect us, who protect our borders. I think
Mm.
it was very humbling to go there and work with them, work for them. And I think we've done two bases for them, and one more post. So two posts we've already done, and one post we're in the process of solarizing them. It was so heartening to see soldiers coming and sharing their challenges, that they had to uh, climb to come downhill for charging their phones. Even there was no continuous supply of electricity. There
Oh.
was no system
Mm.
for warming the water, for heating the water. There was nothing, because electricity was very limited and it was being used only for critical activities. And they said we were not able to know what is the
Mm-hmm.
current affairs of the country, what our families are doing. And once we've done these posts, solarized these posts,
Mm.
most of the soldiers came and thanked our team that at least they can connect with their families, they can know what is going on in the country, in the globe. And it was so humbling to see all these. I think we would have impacted almost 1,200 soldiers there, and the smile on their faces actually made our day. uh, on the ASHA Center side, I must say that we've scaled the ASHA centers in some areas, as we started as a pilot project. And uh,
Mm.
there were good number of children in the ninth and 10th standard, and I think I've had the results. I think most of them passed with good marks. And
Wow.
there were some people who stopped, and their names came in the newspaper. And I must say
Wonderful.
that in our ASHA centers we continuously benchmark our scores, our children's scores, with the
Mm.
ESSER scores, which is from the government, the report. And a lot of
Okay.
places our children have fared well in the ESSER reports. So that the benchmark that is set for them. So which is there are endless stories of these women who've kind of opened their own stitching centers in their villages. And some have become
Okay.
trainers to train the trainers. So they've become trainers for training, providing this training on stitching in the village. And I'll tell you
Mm.
this one particular story of this lady whom I remember very well. Uh, she's from I think MP State. She had done
Okay.
MA in MA, but she never came
Mm-hmm.
out for teaching, or thought of standing on her own feet. And through our
Okay.
teacher training program for ASHA Center,
Mm-hmm.
she's successfully running the center. And what is so good to see is that she has become an example for other women to take such steps. And people say that, oh yeah, our daughter-in-law has done so much, so why not others? So you know I mean, I can go on and on and on and on. So I can say that, today we are doing 94 ASHA Education Centers across the states, uh, almost
Mm-hmm.
1,000 plus youth empowered through skilling program. Uh, and I must say that, overall, the kind of lives we are touching directly, indirectly, uh, it's just a beginning. I'll not say it's like we have to go a long way, and we will, keep on scaling up these programs, and doing
Mm.
course correction, because that is important. We keep on getting feedback, and I'll tell you, 5 years back, during the COVID time, till the COVID time, we
Mm-hmm.
have not provided
Mm-hmm.
them with the computers and TV screens, because that was not the requirement by that time.
Okay.
But COVID, we
Hmm.
ensure that all the ASHA centers get the laptops and TV screens, so that they can connect digitally, And now this has become
Hmm.
a permanent feature. When any ASHA center is set up, these are the initial things that are being provided. So scaling up is also important. Moving with the
Right.
time is also important. And rural children
Hmm.
should also learn about what's happening in the world and what is the new way of learning through online
Yes.
media. So that
Yes.
is where, in addition to being scalable, we have to be improvising the projects and the initiatives. It's
Hmm.
again
Hmm.
very key for ensuring that people benefit from them. If
Right. And no wonder the ASHA Education Center have won global recognition recently. Congratulations on that. So I know why this initiative is so special, because you keep on working and improvising yourself to make this initiative more successful. So, being the chief human resource officer, you lead the organization in its internal people strategy, the culture, inclusion, leadership development, gender empowerment. So, how does this internal philosophy translate into your external CSR approach? And do you see a parallel between empowering employees and empowering communities?
and I'll pick from the where your last sentence was. Empowering people and empowering communities, because we are there and we have adopted an inclusive growth. Those communities are actually like a family. So for
Hmm.
us as HFE, we do not see any difference. It's just that employees are sitting in that area and we are meeting them daily. But if we,
Hmm.
like, I'll give you a small example. We've initiated these. I told you that we scaled the ASHA centers to 10 standard, and we have
Hmm.
put up an approach where our people will go and talk about different career programs with the children, because that is which is
Hmm.
important. And generally in remedial classes, such provisions are not there. That people don't get these kind of opportunities. These only happen in
Hmm.
the schools. But we thought of doing
Hmm.
this,
Hmm.
and that was important because even our people should understand
Hmm.
what we are doing and how we are doing and how does HFE impact their
Hmm.
lives and how they can partner in that. And
Hmm. Hmm.
I think I need to mention this, that you know we institutionalized individual environment responsibility awards in HFE, which is that
Okay.
everyone should, like we say, corporate social responsibility. On the same terms, we've coined this word IER awards, that everyone has
Mm-hmm.
a responsibility towards the environment, towards the society. And this is not only
Hmm.
for the employees, but also for their families. If someone's father, someone's
Hmm.
spouse, someone's mother is working for the community, we acknowledge and
Hmm.
we, I mean, ensure that they get a platform to talk about it. So this is where
That's
we've
wonderful.
kind of done this. Secondly, one of our initiatives that we started 2 years back is Dr. BML Munjal Social Impact Awards. This
Mm-hmm.
is again in partnership with our foundation, Raman Kant Munjal Foundation. This we institutionalized in the 100th centenary year of birth year of Dr. BML Munjal. This is
Okay.
again to acknowledge, I'll say heroes who work
Hmm.
towards social welfare, social well-being, environmental care,
Hmm.
and other related initiatives. And
Hmm.
I think we've already done two editions of these awards. And through these, we want to celebrate change makers who have
Hmm.
lived their life, who are living their life for the communities, and who inspire others to lead similar lives. And again, going by our IER initiative, fulfilling their self responsibilities,
Hmm.
right?
That's
So
wonderful to hear. It's very encouraging.
that is important. But one thing that I think goes hand in hand all the time is our commitment. That cannot be shaken by anything. There will be challenges. Sometimes people may say, "Oh, we thought you'll do this way and you've done that way." There will be challenges.
Hmm.
Sometimes it
Hmm.
may happen that one fine day ATM machine has an issue and it's not working. Such issues
Yeah. Yeah.
do erupt. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
our commitment that we have to do. So the word is
Hmm.
keep doing it.
Hmm.
Challenges will come and we will overcome them.
That's very inspiring, actually, because many companies still look at CSR as that tick box with that tick box approach. So, as a leader in your industry and with your experience, would you have any word of advice for the CSR stakeholders to not look at CSR as a merely compliance activity?
Uh, I think, okay, again, I'll pick from where you left. So if you treat
Okay.
it as a compliance activity, you will never be able to get the end result. If you think
Hmm.
beyond compliance and assess the needs and do right projects, implement them in the right spirit, and make them sustainable, then
Hmm.
you know, there are good chances that you will be able to meet the end result. But so mind should be tuned to say that CSR is beyond those that norm that government has set. It should be it is for the people, by the people, and then owned by them only. So if that approach is there, I think so. You're right. Going beyond the mere compliance is the key.
Yes. Yes. So we'd like to wrap up with the last question, which is your vision for the future, the roadmap, and if you could shed some light on the sustainability goals, how they are aligned with India's 2030 sustainability goals. Will we see a shift in focus, or would you enter into new areas? So, like, what's the future roadmap?
Uh, I'll say that we will continue to work on these pillars because even the India's goals also revolve around these pillars only, and especially with the RE goals,
Hmm.
if I have to say. So we will continue to focus on these and also uh, grow with the community when the special requirements come, which in which we may not have done the project, but we will
Hmm.
scale up ourselves, develop the skill sets to reach out to people for fulfilling their requirements so that they benefit from it, they acknowledge it, and then they appreciate the impact it's bringing to their lives. That is
Hmm.
important.
Hmm.
And going ahead, so right now we are touching SDG 3 goals. We will try to scale it up to few more, and
Hmm.
year on year leave an impact that I hope you're able to read that our tagline is Planet Positive Power. So, like,
Yes. Yes.
we are ensuring that we leave a healthier planet for our future generation. We leave uh, communities that are safe, that are good for human beings, where they can live, they can thrive, and get empowered and lead a life which is fulfilling.
Okay.
Without
Great. Great.
adding
Thank you
a
so much.
lot of data, I've
Yeah.
simplified it. I hope it answers.
Absolutely, it does. And we wish you all the best, and your team all the best. And we wish you continued success in every transformation that you're making, every project that you've undertaken. And we are always there to support you as a media platform.
Thank
And
you
I
so
would like to thank you for those wonderful and inspiring inputs that you shared with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.